Hey everybody, it's your boy Nerdicane coming at you again with a new comic book review. This is Jungle Comics number 1. I don't know if they're going to do a number 2. It is by Chuck Dixon and Kelsey Shannon. Um, this is from Antarctic Press, and you guys probably know a lot about Antarctic Press in the past year or so. They've been thrust into the middle of kind of a pissing match between Mark Waid and Common Sense. No, I'm kidding. The whole diversity in comics thing. Um, if you watch my videos, you know where I side on that. I side on the side of free speech and being able to create whatever the hell you feel like it. And that's sort of what this is in this Jungle Comics. So when I bought this, I bought this and I ordered it and I pre-ordered it from my comic book store. And everything about it felt kind of weird. It felt odd because this is a throwback. This is sort of an homage to the old Jungle Comics, Jungle Adventures of like the 50s, and those black and white jungle movies, John Wayne, and that it felt weird. So it sort of felt a bit cheesecake. It sort of felt outdated. When you see Jungle Comics and you see comics from that era, the adventure comics, you kind of in your modern mind, your 2008 mind or 2018 mind, you start to think of like the mild to overt racism of then. You start to think of like cringy pseudo porn comic cheesecake stuff, and there's all sorts of things in this that kind of make you want to cringe. But I kept pressing through. I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna order it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna read it. I'm really glad I did. I'm really glad for those intrepid enough to just push through all the things all the negative connotation you have of the old style comics like this. If you go through and you read this, you are going to be rewarded with a writer who is very good at his craft. He's a very good writer. He's proven himself over decades. And also, Kelsey Shannon, an artist who absolutely is at the top of his game. Just look at the expressions. Look at this, the lion, and this. You think this would be like his jungle force of the lion and the elephant. This elephant doesn't even show up. I don't know why you would put a parrot on like if you had a jungle adventure team. A parrot is just going to stay up all night and scream at you every once in a while. But the artwork in this, look at this first splash page. This, right off the bat, your main character, King Dingaling, doing something really cool in the comic book, like right off the bat. Look at these alternate covers. I watched another review today of this book, and that's the cover that he picked, and that's kind of like sort of the Betty Page sort of. That's that cover to me. If I saw that cover, I'd be like, maybe that should be in the over by Savage Dragon, But look at this cover. The Dave Dorman cover. Look how dope that is. That is a sweet cover. But as you see, this is the one that I got. Right off the bat, this splash page is just great. The art, I love the art. Not sure if this coloring of the blood, it's a little weird, but that blood in water in a comic book is kind of hard to do. But they do a good job with it. So you get into it, and there's sort of cringy things. Like as soon as you start reading it, it does throw back to those 50s movies of the white explorer, being the badass in the jungle and, showing those stupid natives what for. And it has sort of a bit of that with this character, Kanga. He's very arrogant. He's very overconfident. And the cool thing about the writing is this is what I would consider a short story. This is beginning, middle, end, all right here in one comic book. But as it goes on, you start to see the flaws in it. You start to see that the natives don't fully accept him as king because you'll read it in the comic book. The way that they choose king, he kind of found this loophole and, kind of slipped in, and now he's king because he wanted it more than anybody else. But you see as the story goes on, this is kind of the cringy part. You get worried about this. But the natives in this book are never... they're never written as inferior. They're never written... They're actually the ones making sense when they're like, hey, we should kind of slow down. We don't know what that is. We don't know, they're the ones making sense in the whole thing, which when you get to the end, I'm not going to spoil, not going to spoil this. I'm not going to spoil the end. The end is dope, by the way. But you see that in there. It's everything in here is, all the characters are respectfully written. And you start to see this guy isn't such the golden boy in it. Right here, Kelsey Shannon, drawing great women. There was another review I watched today where I think he misread that and thought that she was calling him brother and thought they were siblings, but they're not. They're dating. I don't know what you do. A queen marriage. I don't know. I don't know how marriage works in the jungle. I don't know. Do you get a priest? I don't know. Do you just claim it and nobody else claims it? I don't know. But she wants to go back to civilization. She's sick of the jungle, and it's sort of, the nagging wife while the Tarzan-esque husband is out being the adventurer and the king of the jungle, so to say. He also speaks monkey. This monkey tells him to go somewhere and save some people, and he's just like, okay, cool. This dude, once again, this is the one dude making sense. He's like, yo, you just took advice from a monkey, and we're gonna go off into the jungle. I don't know how much more I want to show. It gets kind of dark, as a good jungle comic should. It gets dark and scary, sort of Heart of Darkness type stuff. Starts out as an adventure, it gets kind of dark. I mean, I'm not going to show a whole lot more because I don't want to spoil the end of this, but there's dinosaurs involved, and it sort of shows that the arrogance and the hubris of Kanga is he just keeps going into what he doesn't know. He's determined to be the badass of the jungle and just dominate everything, and he gets into a really bad situation because of that arrogance, because of that bloodlust that he has. He's a very flawed. He starts out as the golden boy, but as the story goes on, and it's done very subtly, it's not heavy-handed, you find out that he's a very, very flawed king, and the people the people of his kingdom see that too. Some talk about it, some don't talk about it, some ignore it, some are willing to face it already. But I'm not going to show any more of this. I don't want to go past, I kind of don't want to go past 10 minutes on this. But this book is paired up. There's 2 stories in here. And the weird thing is, okay, I don't want to spoil it. I'm going to show over here, turn the page, and then come back. And this is the second story in it. And the second story is definitely the cringiest part. This is a little more of, the fare that you see from Antarctic Press. Sort of like pseudo-American anime fan service. This one gets really weird. I can tell it's kind of turn into mostly fan service and probably turn into furry porn at the end. But that's the cringiest part. Like that second story in it is kind of cringy. I kind of wish they had. What did I pay for this? $3.99? Oh, that's a great price for this. $3.99. If it hadn't had that second story in the back of it, I would have been absolutely fine. I still would have felt like I got my money's worth out of this book. I recommend it. This is, whether you're, if you buy this, if you know somebody who's fallen into that trope of, the Comicsgate people are bigots and racists and homophobes, they just want to kick all the minorities out of comics, and it shows in their work, get this book, let them read it, and they'll read it, and if their mind's open to reading it, they'll read it and they'll see the things that I saw in it. They'll say, okay, this golden boy isn't so golden. He's actually kind of the a-hole of the jungle, and stuff happens. I'm not going to ruin the end of this. And the artwork is beautiful. The colors are great. The colors show the tone. Absolutely beautiful. I don't know if Kelsey Shannon did all of this, the coloring as well. But when you get into the dangerous part, when you get into the deep, dark, dangerous jungle, the tones, the colors change, and it really fits the mood, and it's done very, very well. But yeah, I recommend this. I think it's a really good comic. Antarctic Press, do more like this. I've seen a lot of their stuff, and some of it's kind of cringy. Like, I've been curious as to what Gold Digger is, but I think Gold Digger is a little more, fan service and stuff like that. But this is the new recording studio. This is an empty room with spiders in it. We just moved into the new house. Yeah, there's not really decorated There's some art that I'm gonna put up on the walls soon. There's Little. I gotta build him a sleeping cat box. But yeah, the new studio is bare empty right now. We just moved in. I just started to inhabit the third floor because for the longest time, for years, this third floor didn't have an air conditioning unit. So it was just, and it has really gross, thick, old carpet. It just smells bad. The person who lived here before was a smoker, and had like an old dog and a cat that was deaf, and it's just like it smelled up here really bad. So we got a new air conditioning unit, and now I can start to move into the third floor. But this is the man cave. I'll show you guys kind of as I do videos. I'll show you guys the progressions of this, and the things that I add to it. But yeah, it just looks like junky closet. There's my long boxes. But yeah, that's all I got for this one. You guys go check this out. You may have to order this one. I don't know if you have a comic shop that has ordered this already and has it on the shelf. Then that probably means you have a very big comic shop who orders a lot of things. I had to with my new comic shop, who are awesome, by the way. I'm not gonna call them out because I don't want any type of like backlash from crazy people going after them. But my new comic book shop is awesome. They are really good at sales, and I will kind of, when I do a review on another book, I'll kind of explain part of that, because part of saving comic book stores is the comic book stores have to be active participants in that as well. But that's another subject. I'll get into that. But thank you. We're closing up on 12 minutes and 30 seconds. I know I said I didn't want to go over 10 minutes, but here we are. I'm in the new man cave. I'm going to start decorating it over the next few weeks and months. But thank you for watching. I hope you guys go out and have a good day. Go find some comics you love. Like this. Go reach somewhere you don't normally reach. Go challenge yourself. Push past something that you might think will be cringy, and you may find either something really cringy that you can laugh at, or you may find something really cool made by people who absolutely love comic books in the comic book industry. But that's all I got for this one. Thank you for watching, guys. Go have a good weekend. Bye.